Yes.
You've changed things. Forever.
Welcome back to the final review in the 6-part series I've been involved with the Schmoes Know, talking about The Dark Knight. This is what I've been waiting for, so I want to talk about this movie now. Some of my newer viewers may not know that the poster directly behind me is The Dark Knight. I adore this movie. This is one of my favorite movies ever made. I love The Dark Knight. It's just, everything about it was exactly what I wanted it to be. I'll never forget the first night I saw this movie. I wasn't seeing screenings at that time. I wasn't doing anything on YouTube. And I went to the midnight premiere. It was Thursday. I was with a group of my friends. We got there like an hour early, and there was a line in the parking lot, out into the parking lot, almost hitting the street. We had reserved our tickets online, and we were still worried if we were going to be able to get in or not. But the theater had reserved nearly every auditorium in that theater to show The Dark Knight. I got in that theater, and every single seat was filled. I have never since then been to a movie, unless it was an advanced screening, in which every seat was filled. And by the time the Joker took that guy's head and slammed it into that pencil and the entire audience applauded, I knew I was in for something special.
See, to them, you're just a freak. Like me.
One of the best things that Nolan did for this movie happened in Batman Begins. He saved the most iconic Batman villain, not for the first film, not for his big introduction, but for the next film. He let you get into that world. He made you invested in the characters, in Gotham, and everything that he was creating. And now that you're invested in it, let's bring out the big guns. The Joker, Heath Ledger, knocked this right out of the park. Dear Lord, Heath Ledger was good in this movie. To this day, that is one of the best performances ever given by an actor. It's so sad what happened to him. It's seriously, like, I still think about it and it makes me so sad, because this performance is honestly the performance of a lifetime. I still remember that scene where he grabs Gamble by the head and sticks a knife in his mouth. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, whoa, I was not expecting anything like this in a Batman movie. It was just so... it was scary. Like, I was actually like, what am I gonna see? Christian Bale is Batman here. Like, a lot of people make fun of the voice, and yes, the voice is extremely exaggerated, but I like it. I like it. I think it's really entertaining. I think it adds something to the movie. Every other actor was always like, hey, I'm Batman, except for George Clooney, of course. I freeze. I'm Batman. I like the voice. I do. I like it.
What do we got?
Nothing. No name, no other alias. Clothing is custom. Nothing in his pockets but knives and lint.
Another thing I love about this movie is Gary Oldman as Gordon. He is fantastic. I mean, I honestly think that there are so many performances in this movie that, because of Heath Ledger's amazing performance, are overlooked. Namely, Gary Oldman's and Aaron Eckhart's as Harvey Dent. Aaron Eckhart blew me away in this movie. This is, to this day, still his best performance I've ever seen him give. His role was so pivotal on him taking it seriously, and the filmmakers taking it seriously, this transformation that happens with him. The last time we saw Two-Face was Batman Forever, okay? And we'd all like to forget about that, I'm sure. He basically has the exact same ideals as Batman, except he wants to do it in more legal terms. He wants to make Gotham a good city again, and that's why Bruce Wayne takes an interest in him and kind of ushers him along through this. But at the same time, the Joker is there, and what is so great about this villain is he understands the morals of Batman. He knows that Batman doesn't want to kill, and he keeps setting up all these different things that's going to cause Batman to want to do that, or have to do that, to get out of the situation. He creates moral dilemmas for people and for Batman in this movie, and that's why he's such a good villain, because he finds the weaknesses of each person that he wants to attack in some way, and he exploits them.
Evening, Commissioner. Why so serious?
Another thing that's so great about the Joker in this movie is the fact that he actually makes sense. He's doing horrible things, but you can understand why he's doing that. To illustrate, the scene in the hospital, when the Joker is talking to Harvey Dent, and he says, if tomorrow I say that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics, because it's all part of the plan. But if I say that one little old mayor will die, well, then everyone loses their minds! And I remember the first time I saw the movie, I was thinking, yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, that's scary, but he's right. He's not just some mindless lunatic maniac just out there doing whatever he wants. He understands some of the things that is wrong with society, and he's trying to, in a very bad way, fix that. The writing there is just flawless. It's fantastic. And that's why he is the perfect villain for Batman. And this movie illustrates it so well. One of the Joker's last lines in the film is this. He says, "This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object." And that is exactly why these characters work so well. I want to talk about one of the best scenes in this movie, the interrogation scene. That is some of the best confrontational dialogue ever put to film.
Where is he?
People are dying. What would you have me do?
Endure. You can be the outcast. You can make the choice that no one else would face.
And it illustrates my point even more. As the Batman is trying to prove that what the Joker is doing is wrong, and it is wrong what he's doing, the way he's going about doing it, the Joker is able to give completely logical reasons as to why he's doing what he's doing, and they make sense. They both make sense. You can actually watch The Dark Knight and understand exactly where each character is coming from. This movie is close to perfect as movies can get. I adore The Dark Knight. It is such an excellent movie. Everything from the visuals to the music, Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard's score, Christian Bale as Batman, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Aaron Eckhart, Heath Ledger. Everyone in this movie is flawless. This is an excellent film. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And of course, you know, The Dark Knight gets an A+. Alright, now on to the Schmoes for their review of The Dark Knight.
Why you want to kill me?
We are talking about The Dark Knight. If you have been checking out our series that we've been doing on our channel recently, we just did Batman Begins. That was his favorite of the series. What are you, the guy from Crank Yankers?
Well, we've been playing Batman Ping Pong on our channel, Chris Stuckmann's channel. We're back on Chris Stuckmann's channel because we're talking about the last Batman movie that anybody's seen so far, The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale's Batman and Heath Ledger in an Oscar-winning performance as La Joker.
Not only is this my favorite Batman movie, this is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay, top 10.
Yeah, it was definitely in there. There's so many movies I've seen I even put in the top.
No, we don't care about you that much.
You son of a... All right, now the thing is, why do I love this movie? Am I drinking the Kool-Aid, the Nolan Kool-Aid? Sure, whatever. I'm drinking it, I love it, and I'm getting fat off of it because it's a good movie, and there's so much... This was the movie that really made me go, okay, this guy's legit.
You know, as a fat kid, I think I drank a lot of Kool-Aid. I didn't realize they had calories. That made one of the things that made me fat.
Yeah.
Here's the Kool-Aid you're drinking, is that it actually looks like the Joker had a little bit too much Kool-Aid because he's got a really creepy Kool-Aid mustache in this. Heath Ledger as the Joker is kind of what really elevated this movie to the next level as far as hype is concerned because he tragically died after shooting the movie but before it came out. So everybody was wondering, what's his Joker going to be like? And ended up winning the guy a posthumous Oscar.
Gotham needs you. A little fighting here. I like that. Then you're gonna love me.
And it had such like a crampy voice to it. It's a terrible Joker, but the fact of the matter is...
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. But, and I stopped and I bailed on it, but it was the different type of Joker that we saw. And what was so great about it... You can make fun of my...
No, I was going to say, you did the opposite of what Heath Ledger did.
It made an
bailed
impact.
on it.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger committed so hard to this character.
That's a good point. This movie opens up, and you don't see him. You don't know what's going on. All you know is you're back into a moment almost like the 95 Michael Mann film Heat, is what it felt like. It had that kind of slow-building music, the way that they rushed in to rob the bank, and then you see what he does, and the way he sets up these guys, and you're like, the Joker. That's the Joker that I remember in the comics.
Yeah, it was a darker Joker than I ever remember reading
Really?
about.
The killing joke?
Yeah, this guy was intense. He had a lot of problems, but like Michael Caine famously says, we don't know what's wrong with this guy. Some people just want to watch the world burn, particularly a world that has Batman in it. Christian Bale in this movie, this is the first time I really noticed the Batman voice. I was in the theater watching it next to you, and he comes into the bank at the beginning, and he does the...
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
And I'm like, wow, this guy's really straining to play Batman.
Yeah, and and that's the thing, though, is that this movie there was such a story and a through line to it of what the Joker was trying to prove and what Batman was ultimately trying to prove. And then you had Harvey Dent and how it all played in. It just worked so magically. And the fact you got rid of Katie Holmes and brought in Maggie Gyllenhaal and that, and she worked as Rachel. And I mean, everything just worked. It worked so well. It's such a well-crafted story. And I mean, I love this movie. It really is. It's a fantastic film.
That's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
Really only the problem I have with this movie is that, like like any great comic or movie or music, it has to follow itself because it's so riveting for so long. And then you also have to wrap up everything with Harvey Dent, and you're like, man, this is great, but I still kind of want to see anything else that you would have with the Joker.
Right.
But that's not I mean, you can't really fault the movie for that because it was so good. The action scenes are so intense. They're filmed so dramatically. It's such an engaging film to watch. I love this movie.
It's all about the Joker really causing mayhem on Gotham and making people go to a dark place and showing society that they don't have to go by the rules that are set out there. And one of the things, there was a comment that I like to address that in one of our reviews, someone said, well, you know, Christian, you said that the Joker in Batman, it's all about him. It's all about the Joker in this one. It's not. It's the Joker that really runs the story, and and they focus a lot on him, but it's not the Joker's origin story and why he's the Joker, and it's following him. It's about, the Joker is the catalyst of what all this is going down, but it's Batman. I just love this movie so much, I could talk about it for 3 hours.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time,
All right.
Thank goodness. So we're going to schmo this movie, and again, this is right up there with Batman Begins. I like Batman Begins a little bit more, but that's not the fault of The Dark Knight, so I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 schmoes.
Oh, okay, you gave it 5 out of 5.
It's like because you're going to have another kid at some point, so you're going to have to, you're going to love both of them, but you're going to have one you like better.
All right, look at that. And you know the thing is too with this movie, you forget we didn't mention the IMAX. They shot a scene in IMAX. It's the beginning of the Nolan experience in IMAX, which also worked great. Visually stunning, great, fantastic movie. 5 out of 5. I love it. If you're surprised, I gave it 5 out of 5.
So you don't have to say anything.
I
Just
know.
put this up and go to bed.
Let's put a smile on that face.
So we're the Schmoes, and we'd like to say thank you for Chris Stuckmann for being a part of our series, for having us on his channel, for being on our channel. Make sure you check out very soon on both our channel and Chris's channel. We'll have separate reviews of The Dark Knight Returns, Rises.
He's
Man, I
rising.
screwed it up.
He's probably returning too, but
I talk about how much I love it, and I call it Returns. The Dark Knight does return, but he's rising while he returns. How you like that, bitches?
is he getting revenge too?
Get out of here.
Thanks, Schmoes. It was great doing this with you guys, too. I look forward to more collaborations in the future. If you guys haven't checked them out, go over to their channel and give them a look. They are great. They have great reviews. And as they said, both of us will have separate reviews for The Dark Knight Rises on both of our channels pretty soon. And I also want to make a note, a lot of people have mentioned Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Excellent movie. Yes, it was theatrical. I'm aware of that. Excellent movie. I have a segment on my channel that fits that movie perfectly. I do overlooked reviews. I'm going to do an overlooked review for Mask of the Phantasm in the next few weeks. Look forward to that.
And until next time, if you like this review, you can subscribe to my channel and get Stuckmann.